Time to play a little more or less. This time we're focusing our game today on the New England Patriots. And Jamie, you're up first. Now in 2015, Tom Terrific, the guy who shaves like a movie star, has a tremendous cleft chin. Yeah. That's Tom Brady. He threw for 36 touchdowns. So in 2016, more or less. There's those 4 games at the beginning of the season that he may not play in.
Well, I mean, that's the low-hanging fruit. So I would say certainly going to be less. But the other part of it goes back to the rushing statistics. Do you realize how upset that Bill Belichick is that his team rushed for less than 100 yards a game?
That's not great.
Yeah, and he's an old, because how he won his championship, he's a play-action guy. So they're going to be running the football, and they're going to make an emphasis, as long as that line is healthy, imposing their will.
36 touchdowns, Chris. What do you say?
Well, here's the thing. I think it's going to be less, but, I think their offense will be more explosive as a whole. I think you're right, Jamie. They will have more of a concerted effort to run the football. They'll focus on that. But also with the new toys that came to town, Chris Hogan, Martellus Bennett, that'll give Tom Brady and the quarterbacks in New England a lot of options. Get the football out in one-on-one coverage, make some plays.
I like that you said that they're going to run the ball more. So what better time to talk about LeGarrette Blount, who had 6 touchdowns 2015, more or less than 6 touchdowns 2016. Chris, what say you?
I'm going to say less because I think it's going to be running back by committee there. I think they're getting Dion Lewis back, healthy, James White, Brandon Bolden, those guys. Yeah, I think it's going to be a running back by committee situation. So I think there'll be more rushing attempts, but they're going to spread the wealth.
I just think because he's the battering ram, that identity, as long as he's on that roster, that they're going to want to impose their will. And the only reason they didn't have more rushing touchdowns last year is because of the offensive line situation. So I think that, I can't see Lewis being the guy that you're putting on the goal line to run the ball inside the 10-yard line. So that's why I think he'll have more.
All right, LeGarrette Blount, as we know, he's a big man. Also another big man on the Patriots offense. That's Rob Gronkowski, and he had 72 receptions in 2015. So, J.D., more or less in 2016?
More if he's not hurt. And that's always the question you ask with him.
Yeah.
But, because, he's a 100-plus catch tight end, and how they use this guy and what he's able to do. So I'm going to go with more if he can stay healthy.
Yeah, I'm with J.D. on this one. He's the number 1 receiver for that offense, and there'll be more one-on-one opportunities for him when you talk about all the other players that are going to be surrounding him and the balance that they're going to have on that offense with the running game.
Yeah, no problem with maybe Bennett sharing those targets, though? No concern there?
No, I think they're going to look to get the ball to Rob Gostkowski. He's their bread and butter. He's their guy. That's who they're going to force feed the football, especially if he's in one-on-one coverage.
Yeah, Marty Bennett is going to take that double coverage off of Gronk. All right, let's talk defense. The Patriots had 49 sacks. That's second most in the league. Not bad. More or less than 49 sacks in 2016?
I'm going to say less, and that's because they traded Chan Jones to the Arizona Cardinals, 12.5 sacks. But more importantly, he was that impactful pass rusher, that guy that could get to the quarterback when you had to have it in those tough situations. You just don't replace that. Now, I do think that Matt Patricia and Bill Belichick will find a way to manufacture pass rushing. They brought in Chris Vaughn to go along with Shea McClellan and Jabal Sheard, as we talked about earlier. But I still think they're going to be less than 49.
And I think that's the whole key is that, replacing a guy who gets you 12 sacks. Because it wasn't just 12.5 sacks he had. He probably had 20 and only got 12.5. Exactly. That's how it works. So therefore, it's about the multiplicity of opportunities that you have to bring the quarterback down. And I think that's where they're going to miss. I think they're going to continue to get pressure on. I certainly understand the rationale and the reasons why the Patriots decided to part ways. Because think about it. In free agency, pass rushers never hit the mark. We've seen Darrelle Revis, the best corner. Pass rushers never hit the market. So, therefore, in this particular case, because of the trade, they wanted to get some value out of him. But I think that it's hard to just overlook, hey, that guy had 12.5 sacks last year.
Yeah.
All right, in 2015, the Patriots, they won their 7th straight division title, and they won 12 games in the process. So, in 2016, J.D., more or less, what do you say, man?
Well, I'm going with less because Tom Terrific is going to be sitting next to you for about 3 or 4 weeks. Or maybe he might be in the South of France. Well, but the point is Tom Brady's not playing. I don't know how we just say, Tom's gone. Yeah, they're going to be all right. And you saw the numbers there. Bill Belichick's win percentage, 451 without Tom Brady. We can't ignore those numbers.
And those teams
small sample size, though. Small sample size.
The first 4 games are solid teams because they're going Cardinals. You have 2 division games, 2 playoff teams.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think they'll be well enough to hold serve. I think Jimmy G can split those first 4 games. And if that's possible, I'm going to say push. I'm going to say they're right at 12 games. 12. Because Tom Brady's going to come back with the chip on his shoulder.
No rush at all.
And you know how he's going to play. No, he wants to show everybody. You know how he is. He's that fiery competitor. He's going to want to show people what he's all about, and he's going to want to compete at the highest level.
Speaking of fiery, Jimmy G's going to get thrown right into the fire week 1 in the desert against that Arizona Cardinals
defense. And he gets to face Chandler Jones, who gets to welcome him to Arizona.